It's unfair that this is the first round, but it was unfair that it was Dallas Vegas last year. This is what's happening with the playoff format, so get used to it. This is going to be a bloodbath. Someone has to win.
You've got the return of Landy. You've got the return of Mikko. There are so many emotions in this series. It's basically like a Western Conference final in the first round. It's going to be utter insanity. Ice is ready, and we are back with another episode of the Empty Netters podcast, brought to you by BetMGM. I am your host, Dan Powers, and alongside me, a man who looked so silly, so dumb, so goofy, and so fake as a baby, many people thought he was a doll. There's pictures to prove it. Chris Powers.
As always. I have to post that picture.
I know.
I look like a porcelain doll.
It's the creepiest, weirdest photo I've ever seen. Your legs don't come off the edge of the chair. Your feet barely stick out of your Oshkosh Bagosh overalls.
I don't think my legs come out of my body.
It's bizarre. Well, you know what's funny is it doesn't look like you have knees. It looks like you're a doll that the legs just go, doop.
Yeah.
And your face is like this.
Yeah, well, no. I'll find
You're like this.
It's like
Yeah, it's more of a wonder. Like,
yeah. The world.
Very, very weird, dude.
Very strange. Very cool.
You know what's not cool?
I do.
I have a mouse in my house, and I am losing my fucking mind. And I'll tell you one thing. I want to say this. I think that there is especially, well, that was a different thing. There is a false connotation to having rodents in your, or an occasional rodent in your home. Meaning that you have like a dirty house or your place is a mess, things like that. And in I'm sure in other warm places, but here in Los Angeles, the same goes for cockroaches. Mm-hmm. Like if a cockroach scurries across your kitchen floor, I feel like a lot of people are like, that's disgusting. And I'm like, it happens to everybody.
Yeah.
The richest people in the city. Mm-hmm. Mansions in Beverly Hills have cockroaches and mice occasionally. They just get in through the cracks, man.
Yep.
That's not a metaphor. That's literal. I have a mouse in my house. And this fucking guy, dude, he is Splinter from the Ninja Turtles. He is a genius. He is spry, limber, evasive, and I can't get him.
I want to say the last time this happened, because this has happened once before, we opened the pantry. Usually the tell is, you open the pantry and the bottom corner of the chip bag got a nice little hole in it and whatever.
I don't think I've ever had a mouse in my pantry. Usually
where were the other ones? I know we got them, but how do we know they were in there?
That's a good point. No. That's a good question.
Oh, I remember.
Because
it wasn't the pantry. It was the front hall closet.
It was
and
toilet
the toilet paper was being fucking shredded into a little nest.
And someone was like, you put traps all along the floorboards. I got one in the kitchen and I got one in the pantry.
Yep.
And voila, we were done.
Dude, like 3 nights in a row. Bang,
but I'll
bang,
tell you
bang.
what, Chris, this fucking guy is an exclusive pantry mouse.
Yes.
And he's a single shelf mouse too. Yeah, he doesn't get shit on the other shelves. He goes for the same stuff every time. And the amount of shit that I've had to throw away, I go grocery shopping. I buy brand new stuff.
Yep. Bag
of my favorite snack time pretzel chips.
Yep.
He gets in that bottom corner. You got to throw away that whole bag.
Whole thing.
Whole bag.
Yep.
And I've thrown away multiple groceries because of this fucker.
Yep.
And he's also on the floorboard
what
door.
What are you doing?
And I'm like, how are you even getting there?
Is he trapped? Is he trying to get out? Also, Dan?
I'll tell you what, dude, I woke up this morning and the pantry door was open and I could have sworn after I set all the traps, I shut it.
Yeah.
And now I'm like,
he opened it.
This dude's jumping off the shelf, grabbing onto the door handle, opening it, using his momentum to hump against the door to open it a little bit just so he can gnaw on the floorboard. And I cleaned out the whole fucking pantry on Monday when I got home from Coachella. Cleaned the whole thing out and I was looking for the hole that he's getting through because I was going to plaster it shut. Cut off his source. I couldn't find the hole.
Well, I was right about to say, because he really does only hit the same shelf, and I was right about to say, he actually probably never leaves that shelf because those shelves, Dan, are perfectly level, right? So or even. So it's like, how could he ever? He doesn't have a belay. I don't know how he could ever get to a new
Is
shelf.
he a trapeze artist?
So I was like, he must be on that shelf the whole time. But then the bottom floorboard makes no sense unless there's two.
Mice can scale
A flat wall.
I don't know about that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how does he get down there and then back to that shelf? It's literally not possible.
Maybe he has a staircase system inside the walls, dude.
So he goes, boom, in the walls, down the stairs.
Through
boom,
different holes.
Boom, boom. Okay. Okay, now you're talking.
The devils are inside the walls. Igor Karkaroff, dude.
Yeah.
He was a Death Eater. This guy's a Death Eater.
He might be.
This morning I woke up, he had gotten into a bag of bagels, and the bagel bag wrapper hit the trap.
Yeah.
Snapped the trap, fell to the floor, and I saw the bagels on the floor this morning, and I was like, and I noticed one trap was snapped and gone. And I was like,
Got him.
please be in there, you fucking
Yeah.
little shit. Nope, just the bagels.
Dude, he's Catherine Zeta-Jones dipping beneath the lasers around the traps.
She dips beneath the lasers. Oh, I hate him, but I respect him.
Me too. I might be on his side.
I
might have come all the way around to his side.
My issue is I like the snap trap because it kills him quickly. I'm not a poison guy because I don't need poison in my house. And I'm not a glue trap guy because it's horrifying.
Awful.
But
he's about to get the glue though. You fucking eat one more bag of food, you're gonna get the glue.
These are the times where I've said this constantly. If I could Eliza Thornberry myself and speak with all animals, insects, everything, spiders are a good example of, I'm like, hey, dude, you got the whole house and outdoors. Just don't put your web directly face level where I walk to my garage, if you could. And I bet that spider would be like, oh,
dude,
no
problem.
Totally.
Yeah.
If this mouse could talk, I would be like, dude, I'll feed you. Stop eating through the bags of my shit.
You would feed him?
Dude, I would put out a slice of bread a day and be like, that would feed you for a week.
That adds up, bro.
Bread?
Oh, yeah.
He ain't picky. I'll get him Kroger sliced white bread. He'll eat like a king.
Yeah, and then get
I'm assuming this isn't Remy. If I've got Remy on my hands and he's trying to cook.
Yeah, he's like, how about a toasted marbled rye?
That's an expensive mouse. Remy's a rat.
Yeah.
Shit.
We might have a rat.
And it would make sense because he's behaving like a fucking rat.
He is, dude. He's man.
I just can't believe I have a mouse or a rat who is aware of traps, and that sucks for me. It's fucking brutal.
Yeah, I don't know what to do.
Me neither. And you know what's funny is I've been setting so many mouse traps that it's got me thinking about, remember that game, Mousetrap?
Oh, yeah.
And it's got me all nostalgic, thinking about games, board games, things that I like to play. Got me thinking about the Friday Beers card game.
Oh, dude. It's such a good, we say this all the time. It's such a great, I got 30 minutes. You can play all night, but you know what I'm saying? Like, where I'm like, oh, I got 30 minutes before we're off to this thing. And like, we pop a hockey game on, we're doing whatever. And I just want to kill a little time and have some laughs with the fellas.
It's a great pregame.
Dude, bang. Because it's right, we have it right on the coffee table. So it's just boom, right back up, bang. And then everything, dude. Horse race, trivia.
It's fantastic.
Like whatever. And you can play as is, or you can literally cherry pick the ones. Like sometimes we're just like, let's just play horse race a bunch. You know,
it's fantastic.
You just cherry pick the games you want to play. Perfect time fill, moods, vibes, high, feels like a Friday, whatever day it is, then we're off and running.
Yeah. So if you've got a mouse or a rat and it's driving you insane, you need the vibes back up.
You need a distraction.
Good game. Getting vibes back up in the Western Conference. Woo! We did our Eastern Conference playoff predictions. Now we're doing West. Big day yesterday in games. I released a video breaking down the playoff picture situation because we had a lot of stuff. By the time you're hearing this, we'll see if the Habs are alive and in or possibly not. Tough game.
And if they're brutal game, because the Jackets have the Islanders.
Yeah.
So if the Jackets, I'll make this vow. If the Jackets get in, we will drop a mid-form, like an 8 to 10 minute mid-form on YouTube about the Jackets Caps series breakdown.
We had some funny Jackets fans in our DMs like, I almost killed you guys for not even whispering the Jackets. And then we're like,
do.
but quick. That's why they said almost.
Yeah.
And yeah, here's the deal, folks. If the Habs lose outright, they can lose in OT and they're in. But if they lose tonight outright, then all the Jackets have to do is win in any form against the Islanders, and then they are in. Pretty crazy.
Is it any form?
Any form, because they are tied in regulation wins. They are one less in total. Mm-hmm. So they would. They're tied in wins, and they're tied in regulation wins. So either they get a regulation win and they're in, and they have the same amount of points.
Ooh, Dan, is it regulation? The second tiebreaker is just any win, or regulation plus overtime win?
I think it's regulation plus overtime, which would have them be one more.
Okay, yeah. Because look at this. I'm seeing
ROW.
Regulation.
Oh wait, no, it's ROW. Canadians are in. So
no. Not if they win in regulation.
No. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If they don't win in regulation, Canadians are in.
Can you imagine
their ROW is higher.
If they win in OT, it
would suck so much. Like if you get to OT, they're like, well, we're
oh, dude,
it's a bummer. So yeah, they have to win in regulation.
Crazy.
Okay, let's get into the Jets Blues.
Yep,
Jets Blues is set.
And congrats to the Jets, to the Blues and the Wild for getting their wins
Blues
last night
Wild,
and locking it in.
Yeah, Blues Wild by the skin of their teeth.
Jesus, dude.
Like really ugly game, but the Blues are officially in that second wild card spot. Well, I mean, 82 games for both.
Yeah, it's over.
They are locked in. So we've got Wild Blues. So Jets versus the President's Trophy Jets versus the St. Louis Blues. What a darling team to get in. Do you want to do our 1, 2, 3?
Oh, yes, I do. Let me just think about this for a second. And man, I'm going to go. I do a controversial take here, dude. But yes, I'm ready.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Jets in 7. I love it.
Wow.
I want you to know that my knee-jerk was Jets in 5.
Yeah. I don't even know.
I just think this team is so much better. Mm-hmm. And Blues, calm down.
Yes,
Blues
agree. All Blues fans are mad at me now.
Every fan base needs to know that, by and large, we love all of you, but we are also respectfully Bernie Sanders coming to you and asking you to all calm down. Yeah. Every single fan base. Like, you guys need to take your medicine sometimes. You need to calm down a little bit. A lot of Blues fans right now are acting like it's already 2019. There's a chance you get swept in the first round. You're playing the President's Trophy winners, but it's the President's Trophy winners. And the Blues are a wagon for the last couple of months.
Here's my concern. Blues finished, I think, I might not even have updated this after the game last night, so then maybe they're like 24-3. I can't remember if Hockey Reference had updated while I was looking at this. They're either 19-4-3 or 24-3, and depending on how the Kings finish, the Blues will have the best or the second best record in the league since the Four Nations break.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Okay. And I actually saw this funny thing too, where it's like, and this is no knock on Monty, because I think what he's done there cannot be understated, but once he got there, they were like 3 games out of a wild card and whatever. And then usually you see that new coach bump right away. Mm-hmm. They went like 7-9-1 for his first, whatever that is, 17 games. Yeah. And then Four Nations break happened. Then they went nuclear. And a lot of that has to do, I think, with maybe them getting more used to Monty's style, but certainly Jordan Binnington. My concern, if you're the Blues, is, and I said this about the Habs, dude, the Blues there was a 12-game heater, right? I think they went on a 12-game heater, 13 maybe. They needed every single fucking one of those points to sneak into the playoffs by their teeth Like Calgary can win, Dan, and be tied in points, right? Yeah, like Calgary can finish with 96 points too. And I know they're eliminated and it's over, but I'm just saying they can be tied with points. The Blues needed every single fucking one of those points. And as I said about the Habs, they've been in playoffs for a month and a half. They have been absolutely grinding. And no matter how good you are, NHL teams can't win 20 games in a row. Like I know someone pull up the most wins in a row ever, but my point is you go on heaters and then they stop. That's how the world works. So it's hard for the Blues to continue this absolutely torrid pace against the best teams in the league.
100%. I think that is such a good point. It's what we've talked about in the past. Playoffs different, baby. This is a different beast. You're not playing a bunch of teams who are on crazy road trips. They're doing this, they're doing that, and that's not taking away anything from the Blues' crazy run, but you are now in a series against the 16 best teams in the league. Just the facts.
Yep.
Even though I do want to say, quick stick taps to Calgary, they have a better record and more points than 2 of the playoff teams in the East.
Yeah, fuck, brutal.
Bummer.
I'm so bummed for them. Awesome fucking year.
Awesome year. This is a very good team. President's Trophy curse is real, but this is not going to be like what you've been doing. And you're going up to Winterpeg. You're playing the white wall. It's going to be tough.
For me,
go on. I want to say a couple of things about the goalies.
Yeah.
Number one, you have the Vezina winner back-to-back years in Connor Hellebuck. There's arguments for him to win the Hart. 924 save percentage, 2.2 goals against, 8 shutouts. He's having a career year. He was great in Four Nations. He's great all season.
Yep. And I think for Helly's sake, let me check this.
Yeah, it's probably better after that game.
Well, no, I think that's a typo. I think it's 202, but let me make sure.
No, I said that wrong. Sorry, 202. Yes, 2.02 goals against. My bad. Jordan Binnington, a goalie who was a little bit better in Four Nations, who has been playing insane for the last couple of months. So one thing that I find really, really cool here is you've got this matchup with a wildcard team, and the goalie stack up isn't that tilted when Binner's playing like this. And as we've said a million times about Binner, the guy's completely unflappable.
Yes, dude.
So he will be in there looking at the Blues team going, guys, we're a wildcard team. We're the second wildcard team. We're playing the President's Trophy. Go out there and rip, dude.
Yeah.
Go out there and take fucking chances, gamble, and let's win. Let's play how we've been playing. So I think, I'm not calling the goalie matchup a wash by any means, but I am saying it's way tighter than you would assume when you have the President's Trophy winners, basically wire-to-wire President's Trophy winners, with a back-to-back Vezina winner in net. You would think it would be such a tilted advantage, but it's not.
Dude, I have 2 ways to look at that, Dan, because I was thinking about that so much. On the negative side, if you're St. Louis, on the negative side, you go, Binner's been so fucking good since Four Nations. Mm-hmm. Damn near whoever we play in the West. Let me just make sure that's a true statement. Yes. Damn near whoever we play in the West, we have the better goalie because of the way Binner's been. And then you catch the Jets in the first round. And I'm like, that was actually pretty much the only guy who so the Blues were going, we've been on a fucking tear. We made the fucking playoffs and we got the hot goalie. And I'm like, well, they do too.
You are playing a mutant.
So the negative side is that, but on the positive side, because Binner is so deranged and sick in the head, I actually think he is Seabiscuit, and you need to pull him back and show him, let him look the other horse in the eye, and then he'll go. That you couldn't draw up a better situation for specifically Binner to A, be going against the best unbeatable team with the best unbeatable goalie, and B, the guy he just dogged and ripped a gold medal out of his hand. I legitimately think he's like, good dude, I'll do it again. Instead of any other goalie. Like, he doesn't want to go toe-to-toe with Otter. He doesn't want to go with Kemper. He goes, oh, this punk again, dude? Chump change.
It's wild.
I actually think he loves this matchup. It's perfect for him.
Yeah, it's like, I don't think it's not like he wants this matchup.
I think he might,
but my point is, he doesn't give a fuck. I love that take that he's like this, no, I want it.
Give me Helly.
I'm like, you're a psychopath.
Yeah.
Getting into some of the players, I want to take an opportunity here to potentially break a little bit of news.
Okay.
Potentially. Talking about a certain Winnipeg Jets player, Nikolai Ehlers. This man is a phenomenal winger, young, talented, amazing player who a lot of people have said, 28 years old, having a great season, contract is up. Is he gone? I think high likelihood this is his last year in Winnipeg. And I am here to say there is a very possible chance that we have already seen his last game in a Jets sweater.
Damn.
Nikolai Ehlers, 69 games played this season, 24 goals, 39 assists, 63 points, plus 14 on the year. He has an injury right now that, from a couple inside sources close to him, are saying is quite bad. Now, hopefully he plays in this series. Hopefully he plays game 1. But I think that there is a very significant chance that Ehlers might be hobbled very, very badly here and not playing. And I think that is a huge, huge factor.
Brutal.
Now, Kyle Connor, elite hockey player. Elite.
Yep.
I would also like to say this. I tweeted this weekend. It is truly hysterical that Kyle Connor, do you have his stats right in front of you?
Yeah.
Say Kyle Connor's stat line from this season for me real quick.
Career year, by the way.
Yeah.
Stud. 81 games, 41 tucks, 55 assists, 96 points, plus 16.
Career high in points, correct?
Career high in points, career high in assists, and 6 off his career high in goals.
And now the third time he's gone over 40?
Second.
Second time he's gone over 40.
Had 38 once.
Yeah.
31, 34, 38, 34, 31.
Yeah.
47 once, 41 once.
Imagine scratching, health bombing that man in a gold medal game against Canada for the likes of certain people on Team USA.
Dude, we're trying to build a roster.
What an interesting decision. So you've got Kyle Connor, you got Mark Scheifele also dominating
Also
this
career year. Yep.
You got Gabe Vilardi, career year.
But I have to say, Dan, Gabe Vilardi hasn't played since March 23rd, considered week-to-week upper body injury. That was always the fear.
Yep, I am not fazed by that in the slightest. I think this is a classic Vilardi. Just get healthy, we're fine.
Yep.
You got Morrissey on the back end. You got Pionk on the back end. You've got so many fucking good players on this team. I think, for me, it's why I still have them. I think I liked the 7 for dramatics.
No, but it's a great call.
I really wanted to say 6, but I just love Binner stealing games. Like, I'm looking at 2019 Cup Final against Bruin. You had 0 fucking, Jesus Christ. Quick little interruption there. Got a nice little phone call from Sway.
Yep.
Had to take that real quick. All right, we're talking about all the Jets playmakers or goal scorers, their insane roster. That's not to say the Blues also don't have guys absolutely buzzing.
Yep.
So obviously Kyrou has found such an unreal level of his game under Monty. Rob Thomas continues to do what he does. And man, you know what I'm excited about? Fucking NHL shot Jimmy Snugs.
Yeah.
Joins the team, gets his first tuck in this must-win game. I'm so excited about what he's going to do for this team.
Dude, agree. The Binner factor makes me scared about my 5 pick.
Okay.
But I just think that Helly has been so good this season, obviously, but also in 4 Nations. Like, I know the USA lost, but he was fucking great in that game and that tournament. And if game 1 will be big for me. If he comes out at home in game 1 and gets lit up like a Christmas tree, as has been happening, then you are in a whole world of hurt. Who's the doctor in Wedding Crashers? I'll call Dr. So-and-so because we got a whole new bag of problems, dude.
Yeah.
But if he's dialed early, I just think the Jets are having the season that they're having and he's playing the way they're having and the players are having the seasons they're having that you can't.
Yeah.
You're just going to pummel the Blues. There's just too many factors. The Jets finished with the best power play in the league. Like, that's such a thing in the playoffs. Like, if you are hammering home power play goals, if that doesn't dry up, that's going to be really tough. One thing that sucks from my POV, and I know you're going to agree, or you'll agree if it's true. I just don't know if you'll agree if this is true. I hate that if the Blues get popped in 5, that the boo birds will come out about Monty's playoff record. And I'm like,
I know,
that
it's
is such bullshit,
It's
dude.
so unfair.
Because you're ignoring what he did to a non-playoff team to get them in this position on the torrid rip that they went on. And then you run into the President's Trophy team with the best goalie in the league and you lose in 5 and they go, see, he can't win in the playoffs.
And not to mention, if you go down this team, here they're numbers for their players this season. Robert Thomas leading the way with 81 points, another plus 80 season for Robbie. Kyrou with 70. Number 3, dude, the old offer sheet. Dylan Holloway, 63 points. He's going to miss this series most likely.
Yeah.
Like, that is a fucking dagger. An absolute dagger. So I love the I mean, dude, by the way, Cam Fowler has 40 points this year.
I know, dude.
Can you talk about that fucking pickup too? Jesus Christ. But we always talk about great defense on this team with Fowler, Parayko, Falk, Broberg, amazing pickup. Zach Bolduc's are obviously a great rookie for this team too. I love the Blues. They're scrappy. They're going to get wins. Binner's going to steal games, I think. I'm sticking with my 7 for the dramatics. I think it'll be so cool. But I do think this Jets team will not be topped because I don't think...
They beat them 3 out of 4 this year. The Jets did. The Jets beat them 3 out of 4, including one down the stretch here when the Blues need the games and hot, and the Jets were playing for nothing. I just think the Jets... I think Binner will steal 1, but I think the Jets are just the better team.
They're too good, and I also don't think Hellebuck is going to see his playoff struggles continue.
I hope not. I'm not even saying I'm rooting against the Blues. I'm just saying I hope not for Hellebuck's sake.
Agree.
Because that narrative sucks.
Yeah.
Pausing the pod to talk to you guys about BetMGM and one of their epic promotions that you were missing out on. You're missing out, and I don't want that to happen to you. This one is the Hat Trick Jackpot. All you have to do is bet on an anytime goal scorer. If that person scores, bang, cash, put it in the bank. You won your bet. If that person scores 3 or more, to infinity and beyond, you get entered into a share of 10,000 G's in bonus bets. That's a no-brainer. And the best part, when you download the BetMGM app, if you use promo code NETTERS, you can get up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your first bet loses. So download the BetMGM app, use that promo code NETTERS, that's NETTERS, and bet on an anytime goal scorer. If you lose, you're going to get some bonus bets. If you win the bet. And if he scores 3 or more, you're going to get your share of 10 G's. Come on, people. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY for New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 for Massachusetts. 21 plus only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP for Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF for Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 for Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
All right, now getting into possibly the most anticipated series in the playoffs for me.
Yep.
Maybe 2, but goddamn, man. We've got the Battle of Ontario in the East. We've got the Battle of Florida in the East. We've got round 4,
Kings
LA,
Oilers.
Edmonton, and we've got this central matchup.
Yeah.
The Battle of Mikko Rantanen.
The Rantanen Bowl.
Avs Stars. What do you got?
Okay, I'm ready. Are you?
No.
Yeah, this one's a dagger, dude, and this one is and I'm being dead serious right here. I would love both of these teams to go to the Cup, and I don't even know which one I want to go to the Cup more. And I just need to I'm going to watch every second of this series because it's going to be so epic.
Yeah.
But I wish I could literally just look away until someone had won, and then I could go, great, I'm rooting for that team.
I know. I don't even want to see it.
Yep.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Avs in 6.
Wow, 6. Wow.
I hate it, dude.
Yep.
I absolutely hate it. So Dallas has been on a bit of a skid.
Yeah, dude, they've lost 6 straight.
Yeah.
And then they play the Preds tonight. And they've lost 6 straight to mostly bad teams.
Yeah.
They have been, and I know we were just joking about Dallas fans being like, we're cooked. And I was like, calm down, dude.
Yeah.
But I am like, losing 6 out of 7 at best is not my favorite way to enter the playoffs.
Yeah. So they've lost 6 straight. They are 2-1 against Colorado this season.
And got beat twice in Colorado.
Yeah. And it's everything we've said, dude. It is Colorado is finally healthy.
Yep.
And they have Captain Landy back.
Yeah. Landy back.
You want to know the last time Landy played an NHL game? Shane Wright was the projected first overall pick in the NHL draft?
Tough. Ricochet.
Sorry, Shane.
Yeah.
But like,
I will say this though. Landy has rejoined the Avs officially. He is projected to play game 1.
And God knows what he will be like.
God knows if he plays and more importantly, what he can give.
Yeah.
No one wants, I think just about everyone in the hockey world, except for Dallas fans right now, want Landy to play and play great just because it's the story. But we don't know. Nate has a something, right? Like he's been shut down for the rest of the year, has something.
Yep.
Everybody said he's going to be fine, but he has something. Sagan back. Sagan projected to play. I think he'll play tonight, in fact. So Sagan's supposed to play tonight. He's going to play game 1. He was over a point per game.
Huge.
And Granny filled that role on his wing, so I wonder where they'll put him. You know, because that line was firing when Sagan was in. But either way, if he's back, that's a massive boost.
Huge boost. Dude.
Miro has been ruled out officially for game 1.
Yep.
In my opinion, in this podcaster's opinion, he is done for round 1.
I completely agree. I do not think he's going to play
they keep saying they're like, we're going to see. There's definitely a chance he comes back in this round.
Yeah.
Smell you Monday, dude. Yeah. Not happening. That's a massive blow. That's a massive gargantuan blow. So we've said over and over and over, it's hard for me to think of 2 deeper teams than these 2. Like literally run the lines of these 2 teams.
Dude, it's crazy. When you look at their projected lineup, it's just so it's the depths of the Pacific Ocean.
Yep.
It's unbelievable. And man, I'm just like, I love Dallas's game. I love their players. I love their city, and I fucking love their fan base. And I think they deserve it. Like Dallas is one of those teams where I'm like, hell yeah, I would love to see Dallas win a cup.
Same.
And I just think it is such a buzzsaw to have to go up against this team.
Oh, it's awful, dude. It's awful.
And I do think the emotional boost that is going to be getting Landy back, the emotional boost that is going to be playing against Miro. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying Miro's not big enough for the challenge, but like this sucks for Miro.
It sucks so bad.
Everything that happened, Miro being on this team and playing his old team in the playoffs, like that's so much. That's so much that he has to mentally think about and deal with while he's playing. So I'm like, fuck me, dude. To me, again, I'm going to use this phrase again. It's too much for Dallas, which is the only reason I don't think they're going to get past this team.
So let's talk goalies really quickly.
Yep.
Otter, who you know I love, and I know you do too, but you know I love Otter. This year, 9-11, 253. Blackwood on Colorado, 9-13, 233.
Yeah.
So a little bit better in both categories.
Yep.
Otter, the Dallas Stars in the playoffs the last 3 years, lost in the, I'm going reverse chronological,
Yep.
lost in the first round, lost in the conference finals, lost in the conference finals. So they've been right there 2 years in a row. The first round loss, Otter, that was his 7-game masterclass against the Flames. A 9.54 save percentage with a 1.81 goals against. Made fucking 272 saves in fucking 7 games. Outrageous. 2 years ago, 8.95, 306. Not good enough.
Yeah.
Last year, 9.13, 224. Great. Not great, but very good. 224 is very good.
224 is very good.
And 913 is very good. Like that's
no doubt.
And did he? I mean, I'm not saying the Oilers thing was his fault because I think he let in a couple soft ones. Their power play, like a lot of things happened that just was a shit show against that Oilers series. I think if they play that Oilers series 100 times, they win 95 times. Yeah. And the Oilers caught fire. And Stuart Skinner played the best 2 weeks of hockey he'll ever play in his life with respect.
Take it easy.
With respect, he played great. He was unbelievable. He was unconscious those 2 weeks. So that Otter has had 3 playoff runs, if you want to call it that, and 1 incredible, 1 very good, and 1 below average performance.
1 bad, dude. We're going to talk about it as Otter. If Otter is going to be this goalie that we're talking about, if you have a sub 900 save percentage and an over 3 goals against, that is bad
100%.
Per his standards.
100%, and 1 bad. So I think it's funny because there's this narrative that's like, oh, he hasn't been that good in the playoffs. And I'm like, I'm not sure that's true, really. He had 1 bad playoff.
Yeah. Mackenzie
Blackwood, never been there. Never seen it. Never seen it. that, in my opinion, can go either way. Sometimes it's too much because you're like, holy shit, this is a whole new animal. The guys are seeing me. The same guys are seeing me every night or every other night, 7 games in a row. And sometimes you go, I don't even know how to be nervous because I've never done this before, so who gives a fuck? It's another game.
Yep.
That remains to be seen. I believe in Mackenzie Blackwood. Maybe it's the Kemper effect from that year where I'm just like, the Avs can do it. But you certainly are keeping your eye on that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what is Mackenzie Blackwood going to give you? Have the Avalanche unlocked the Mackenzie Blackwood potential that everyone thought existed in him?
Yeah.
Because that's a factor. Dude, for me, Dan, it's literally, I wonder what you think about this. It's literally as simple as this. Both of these teams passionately believe they have left cups on the table in the last handful of years.
100%. And I think Dallas has been we've left cups on the table because we've underperformed.
Yeah.
Colorado has left cups on the table because they were robbed by the gods.
Okay. But I would say
100%. Colorado is like, we got fucked because of people being out of our lineup, not because they underperformed.
Okay, but I would say the Kraken loss was on them.
I don't think so, dude. Like, I mean, yes, like you shouldn't lose to them, but it's because they had 2 impossibly key players out of the lineup.
Yep. Fair. Okay.
They have been robbed by the gods, and I think they go, we are healthy for the first time since we won the Stanley Cup. We're going to win it again. That's what they're thinking.
So here's my take, dude. One of these teams is going to lose in the first round and then go yet again. We've let another year zip by in our window.
Yeah.
I think, though, this might be insane, but I actually think that Colorado is their window, I guess we'll keep the window analogy, is a little bit more closed is a little bit farther on the way down than Dallas is. And I'm not saying either of them are closed. I'm just saying in terms of schedule, in terms of timeline, you're the Avs. You won in 22, or what was that? 21 or 22? 22, right? Tampa.
Yeah, 22.
22. There's been all these years since that I'm like, you really should have got one. And Kale is not old. Nate isn't even old. I look at the Avs team and you're completely fine. But I look at Dallas' team and they're so young still and like retooling on the fly. Like
Yeah, it's the retool on the fly, dude. Because like Ben and Sagan are old.
Sure. And are giving you something. It's not like they're like these old dogs giving you nothing and it doesn't matter when they leave. But in my mind, I'm like, God, both of these teams are going to hate themselves for not winning this year. But Dallas has like a longer runway to win again. Whereas if you're Colorado and you lose this year, I think you're like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. And they're so pissed that is the difference maker for me.
I completely disagree with you.
Okay, good.
And what's funny is I don't think it's the other way. I think these two teams are destined to kill each other
forever. It might be the same window. Dude.
I think they're literally the same window. Like you just said, I mean, the old dogs on Colorado don't even exist. Like, look at their lines.
Yeah.
They're all like, I think the oldest player is like 28 that's really, really contributing. I mean,
how old's Nate?
28. Like Lekkonen's not old. Natchez isn't old. Mac's not old. Drouin's not old. Brock obviously is possibly a rental. He's 33. But then like Coyle is 33, 32. Nishushkin's not old. Ross isn't old. Jack Drury's not old. Devon, Kale, Manson's not really old. Like Eric Johnson's old, but like they just got Eric Johnson back. So like I don't really think they're old. To me, the only difference in these teams is goalie. Yep. And if Blackwood is just like this, no, I'm good now. And sorry, Blackwood. Like if he's like, I am the goalie we all thought I was going to be, like he's been since the day he got there, then I'm kind of like, these two teams are they're James Hunt and Nicky Lauda. Yeah. They are two people who are put on this planet to destroy each other. And they will trade punches for the rest of time. It's legitimately how it feels to me.
Dude, you're kind of right. Like these guys, I do think I'm right in that I'm looking at doing all the ages, and like Dallas is slightly younger.
Yeah, but it's not that crazy.
But it's not that much. Yeah. And that's all I ever meant, where it's like they have a couple extra years on the back end.
Yeah, like I think you got guys like, and the one thing I will give you is, we've talked about it a million times, Dallas's drafting is the most preposterous thing in the world. And that's a factor for them for sure. But yeah, like I think these two teams are just like, I don't think
the duel of fates.
The windows are wide open. There's a pie on the windowsill with steam lines coming up from it and a floating coyote drifting into it.
And they're both 100 yards away sprinting at the pie as fast as they can. Who's going to get there first?
Fucking crazy.
The other reason I'm leaning Avs is because when you have two teams that passionately believe this is their year, and passionately believe that we've wasted a couple years, so it's got to be now, I'd rather take the team with Nate and Kale on it.
100%.
Just because he could change, either one of them could change it by themselves.
Dallas is, I've said a billion times now, Dallas's only flaw to me is their lack of dog.
Like a mega
They
star.
don't have someone who froths at the mouth yet. I think Robo could become it. I think Rupe, I've said this a million times. I think Miro kind of is that, but Miro is more that dignified gentleman.
Yeah, agreed,
just
Dan.
solid. Mm-hmm. But like, who is your murderer?
Yep.
You do not have a convicted murderer on your team, and you need to get one.
Yeah.
Someone can become one. They need to start murdering people. And maybe this is the series it happens.
Nate, Jamie Benn.
But Colorado, for me, has Nate Dogg and Kale, and I'm like, that's pretty terrifying.
And the reason I like your 6 call is the home game. Like, I think a Game 7 in Dallas is a tall task if you're the Avs. Like if it's gone back and forth and you're Dallas and you've gotten to Game 7 and you earned home ice and you got the crowd on your side. They did win their one game at home this year. That's a tough one. I just said 7 out of respect for these two Goliaths.
I respect that.
Going at it.
All right, babes, it is time for you to crack open a nice, delicious beer. And you know when it comes to hockey and when it comes to the Empty Netter show, there's only one option, and that is Labatt Blue. Labatt Blue is brewed with Canadian kindness. You heard that right. You just heard the nicest kindness that exists on Earth. Canadian kindness goes into every can, bottle, and pint of Labatt Blue and Labatt Blue Light. So you need to get one today. Playoff hockey is here, folks. We are in it. So it is time to sit down on that couch, saddle up at a bar, hang out outside because it's getting nicer out, and drink a delicious Labatt Blue. Get that cold, crispy, refreshing taste while you watch your favorite team or the team that you've adopted in playoffs battle for the Stanley Cup. It is hockey's favorite beer. It's the Empty Netter's favorite beer, and it needs to be your favorite beer as well. Get into a Labatt Blue and a Labatt Blue Light today. Okay, next up, we got Vegas Wild. The Golden Knights versus the Wild. Let's go. We got Vegas with home ice.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. Actually, yes, I'm ready.
1, 2, 3. Vegas in
4.
5. Damn, sweep.
It's my second sweep I've called, which is fucking insane, but I have called it.
Oh, Jesus, that is brutal. Well, Vegas is the Florida of the West for me.
Agree. Great comp.
I think there's an argument that could be made for Edmonton. I think a lot of people are just like buying into the hype of like the Kings just absolutely whacked Edmonton. Edmonton's still Edmonton. They still got Connor and Leon, but Vegas is the Florida of the West for me. Everyone is forgetting who the Vegas Golden Knights are. I think that they got an early bounce last year. We talked to Ikes after, and he was fucking pissed. Mm-hmm. Like we hit up our good buddy, and we were like, "Hey man, you want to do?" And he was like, "Fuck no, I'm so pissed off. We should still be playing hockey."
Never talk about hockey again. I was like, okay.
Jack Eichel comes in, has a career year.
Yes, dude.
They've got a lot of Hurdle very quietly is like, oh yeah, that is the pickup they wanted him to be. Noah Hannafin.
Yes, dude.
Very
Holy
quietly
shit.
is like, whoa, are you a top 25 defenseman in the league? And he's like, yes, I sure am. They've got so many good role players who know exactly the role to play. I think this goalie matchup is a bit of a wash. Gus is awesome. Hill is awesome. Hill's done it.
Yes, he has.
So I think I love that Boyum has joined the team. Yep. That's going to be a nice little bump back there. You got Spurgeon back. You've got Krill is back.
Middleton back.
Good call.
I'm actually interested to see what they do. Since Spurgeon and Middleton came back, I'm interested to see what they do with Zeev. Because in my mind, I was like, oh, pump him in immediately. Of course, he's the Cale Makar reborn.
Yeah.
But they're kind of being like, well, we'll see. And I'm like, interesting. And even, you remember the Bruins were even doing that with Sagan, who wasn't a college call-up. He was like my first second overall pick. Yeah, and they were like, you're not playing. Yeah. He didn't come into that fucking Eastern Conference final series when we needed a spark.
Yeah.
So,
but someone got injured.
I think you're probably right.
It was like, yeah.
So it's not automatic that Zeev plays at all and has a huge impact at all. So it's hit or miss with these guys that get called up last minute. Zeev's going to have an incredible career. I'm just saying for right now. Gus, I'm glad you brought that up. I thought this was really interesting. He also, from CUJO said this? Yeah. CUJO said that you kind of take those international experiences back with you. He has also really got a Four Nations bump, even though he got pulled in that Finland game. We didn't think Sweden played particularly well at the tournament, but it's like he had posted it said he'd posted a 9.20 save percentage and 2.21 goals against over 14 games after, and in his 11 games leading up to Four Nations, he had a 3.48 and an 8.69. So like he's really come back and locked in since Four Nations, which is huge for the Wild. But I did want to bring this up about Hill. This year, 9.06, 2.47. So, solid, not incredible, but solid.
Yep.
Hill's 2 playoffs, Stan. And granted, keep in mind, last year was 3 games. But Hill's 2 playoffs in his career, 22-23, 9-3-2, 2-1-7, and a cup. How are you?
Yep.
23-24, 9-3-1, 1-7-0. Like he every time this man has stepped in the playoffs, he has taken it to another level.
Yeah.
And I will add, not that every single person in the league doesn't intend to win the cup. We had a conversation with this man in Boston. And he said, if you guys, I think he said verbatim, I don't know if you guys are allowed to bet, but I'll tell you what, this team has one goal. Like that's all we've been talking about. That's all we've been thinking about. That's all I've been thinking about. Even coming here, dispersing across other teams, the group thread is still going like, use this tournament, boys. Use this tournament to get dialed for what's coming next. Yeah. That's scary to me if you have Vegas next on your schedule.
For sure, dude. And I do think also Vegas is one of the healthiest they've been and in a while, frankly. And how is that not terrifying? I mean, it's like you've got, I'm pretty sure Hannafin, Ikes, and Stoner are all day-to-day.
Yeah.
And like by all accounts that we've heard, they're fine. Petro is the big one. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the latest status is on him.
Yeah, let me check that.
But if Petro is, slotting in, then I'm like, we are very, very dangerous here. Like you look at this defensive core with McNabb, Shea Theodore, Hager, White Cloud, Hutton, and then you put in Petro, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like it's a very, very scary team.
Yep.
And
it's looking like he's not going to. It's tonight, right?
Their game.
Play tonight.
Yeah. They play. He's definitely not playing tonight.
Yeah, he's out with an illness now. They're saying tonight.
Yeah. So like, I think he's playing game 1.
Me too.
So like,
yeah, I mean, dude, if you drop out of the Four Nations roster to be healthy for playoffs, you better fucking play playoffs.
So I'm like, fucking Jesus, dude. Like I think this team is just so good. I love the Wild, dude, and I was so excited about them earlier this year. And I hate to say that they're going to lose in the first round again, but this is how the playoff format goes, dude. Like running into Vegas is also a buzzsaw.
New Leafs.
And yeah, I just they are the new Leafs, dude. Just losing the first round.
Let me check this, dude. So lost in the 2016, lost in the first round, lost in the first round, lost in the first round, missed playoffs, lost in the first round, 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 missed playoffs, and then this year, losing the first round.
Yeah.
So not ideal, but I will say, we've said this all year, I'm glad that they didn't fall all the way out because that would have been a dagger. And it was still an accomplishment to make it this year when so much is opening up for you in free agency and on the books next year that it mattered to make it this year. And I think they're going to get tagged. They lost all 3 games to Vegas this year, I'm pretty sure. Not saying that translates every time, but I think Vegas is in the same way I feel like the Jets are just better than the Blues. I'm like, you are just better than the Blues and you're not going to have an issue here. I think Vegas knows their assignment, has been to multiple cups, won a cup, and are not going to have much issue with a Wild team that's like just getting their players back and whatever. The only wrinkle would be like Aiden Hill going, I'm playing bad in the playoffs for the first time in my life, literally.
Yeah. Which will not happen.
Yeah, that could change it. But otherwise, I'm like, Vegas is rolling.
Yeah. Final one, maybe the most important one.
I need to think about this for 1 second.
We've got the Los Angeles Kings and the Edmonton Oilers, round 4.
Because also last year, when we did this, I said in our prediction, I said Oilers in 5, even though, I think that might be even as what happened. Was that dead accurate? I think it might be was. I think it was.
Yeah, I think so.
I said Oilers in 5, but I wanted nothing more than the Kings to win that series for the boys, but it just felt bad. Like it was Kings in 7 and then it was Kings in 6, or sorry, it was Oilers in 7, then it was Oilers in 6, but we were being like, well, the Kings, that was a win though. That was actually a better series. And then it was just like, you were going to get ragdolled. And what I don't want to do is be reactionary to that right now and how well the Kings are playing and how good they are at home and how banged up the Oilers are. I don't want to overreact into a Kings are going to roll the Oilers because it's the Oilers and they're fucking gross at hockey.
And they have two of the best players alive. So here's a little tidbit for you. The Kings have not made it out of the first round since winning the Stanley Cup in 2014.
Is that fucking true?
They won the Cup in 14, missed playoffs in 15, lost in the first round in 2016, missed playoffs in 2017, lost in the first round to Vegas in 2018, missed playoffs 3 straight years, and then since 2022 have made the playoffs and have lost to the Edmonton Oilers every
time.
Now, here we are in 2025. They are playing the Edmonton Oilers yet again.
Okay, I actually have mine.
LA Kings, Edmonton Oilers, round 1. Are you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Kings in 7.
Dude, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me 4 times, then whatever, dude. Because I've been fooled by the best.
Fooled by the best. Here's the thing.
Oh, no.
I think this is also going to
be...
be... I almost went 6. I think this is going to be a literally every team wins at home every game.
Okay, dude, I don't
Kings
hate
are unbeatable at home.
I don't hate that at all.
They're unbeatable at home.
They are, for the fans, they finished, well, they actually have one more game, but they're 31-5-4 at home, best home record in the league. Absolutely incredible. And if we get to a game 7, I think that could be very valuable.
Agree. So, Kings beat the Oilers 3 out of 4 times this year, including an absolute shit pumping last game. Twice they shut them out. In their only loss, they lost 1-0. Oilers lost both games in LA. Kings are 31-5-4 at home so far this year. To me, the major element here is goaltending. Darcy Kemper, 9.21 save percentage, 2.02 goals against, tied with Hellebuck.
Yep.
Career best.
Yep.
Stuart Skinner, 8.49 save percentage, 2.87. Both are career worsts.
Yep.
Not good. For me, Darcy Kemper has won a Stanley Cup.
Yep.
He is not fazed by playoffs. He has a very good defense in front of him. He has had a full season of being the Kings starting goaltender and being fantastic. This is not a fluke. This is not a he's load management. He's done this. He has played all season long. He has been one of the best goalies in the fucking league. Put some respect on the man's fucking name. That is a Stanley Cup winning goaltender, starting goaltender, who has been a top goaltender all season. I think they have the advantage there. You have a bunch of stuff to get into on Edmonton's injuries, but before you get into that, I think a huge issue for this Kings team when they went through rough patches this year was goal scoring. Everyone said,
good point.
Goal scoring was the problem. Do you remember when the Vegas Golden Knights won the Stanley Cup, what the highest point total in the regular season was on that team?
Yes, I want to say it was Jack at 66.
It was 67.
Yeah.
But actually, it might have been 66. I think it was 67. But you're absolutely right. The 2 highest point scorers for this Los Angeles Kings team this year. Adrian Kempe.
74 currently. 73.
And Anja Kopitar at 67.
That's awesome.
Very, very, very similar situations. This team is spreading it around very well. And then, for a team that was struggling to score goals, Chris, they are 2 goals away, 3 in total, from having 7 20-goal scorers on the team.
Yeah, that's so big. That's what the Bees were like in
2011. Yep. Kempe leads the way with 35, tied with Kevin Fiala at 35. Then you've got Fogue Daddy with 24. Wouldn't Edmonton love that?
God, dude.
Cube, 23. Kopi, 21. Laugh, 19. Morsey at 18. And then the little pickup, the little engine that could, Andrei Kuzmenko has 11 goals, many of which are with the Kings since he joined the team. So my point is, all of a sudden, this team that couldn't score is scoring in a big way. Morsey has been buzzing second half of the year.
Yes,
I feel like 12 of these 18.
Truly.
Laugh was hot to start, went cold, is hot again. Cube is hot as fuck. Fogue Daddy, hot as fuck. And then obviously these other guys, big players for the Kings, they're buzzing. Their goal scoring has picked up. Everything is going well for them at the perfect time. You've got a weak playing Stu Skinner heading into playoffs. It just, I almost said 6 because, dude, it just feels, I think they're just going to take care of business. I think they're going to go into game 3 up 2-0.
Yeah.
And if you can steal one at Rogers, which is a fucking brutally hard place to win.
Yeah.
Brutally hard. I think you can get it done in 6, but I love just the drama of this
7,
series.
right?
I said 7.
Yeah.
The drama of the series, I do not think Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl will let themselves roll over and die. So I think 7, but I do think, to me, dude, objectively, and I actually have talked to a bunch of really cool, fun, smart Oilers fans who I think they have been like, dude, this Kings team is objectively better than us right now. Like, they're just a better playing team all around. It's going to be a brutal series. And like we said, dude, we're fucking featured in the Kings hype video.
Yeah, we were.
Getting home ice was massive, and they did it.
Gargantuan. Okay, so like you said, this was an Elliot Friedman tweet. I think a lot of people saw this, but this was from Chris Knobloch, the Oilers coach. Ekholm won't play first round. No exact timeline. Doesn't sound good. Wallman day-to-day. They expect him game 1. Hyman, McDavid, they're playing extremely safely. I think McDavid's going to play tonight, but like, you know, they're dealing with something. Draisaitl probably not playing tonight, but expected for game 1. Frederick not playing last 2 days. Hopeful question mark for game 1. Kane looking good, but it's up to the medical staff to clear him. Troy Stetcher day-to-day. Anticipate him for game 1. Nugent Hopkins hoping to play tonight. Josh Brown called up. Quinn Hudson to make his NHL debut. There's just a lot of chaos in that Oilers lineup. Now, if literally, let's say they go, I will go right back down the list. Ekholm out, everyone else playing. Yeah. Because all those were like maybe, expected, whatever. If literally everyone plays, then who cares? They've got Knox, but so does most teams in playoffs. Here's my biggest fear. This King, everything you just said about the Kings is right. Okay? And they got home ice and they're buzzing right now. And the Oilers power play, Dan, 11th, only 11th in the league this year. It's still good. I think it was like 23-something%. But how much of a weapon has that been the last couple of years, especially in this exact series?
Yeah,
every fucking time the Oilers go on the power play, they score. Yeah. Every time. And the Kings power play has been literally one of the worst in the league. It's like under 15%. They're bottom 5. Not good. So not really a factor. Last year, the Kings had the best PK in the league. Remember, we were like, well, the Oilers power plays can be completely neutralized.
Yeah, it might be a wash.
Yeah, wrong. They scored every fucking power play. Now, could the Oilers 11th in the league power play this year just score every power play again? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, keep an eye on it. My biggest fear is this. The same way that I was like, I think Binner wants Hellebuck. Part of me feels like this is McDavid and Draisaitl's wish. They go, oh, the Kings with home ice. The Kings can't lose at home. Yeah. Chris and Dan are on empty netters running their mouth. The Kings are better than the Oilers this year. Fucking bring it on, dude.
Definitely.
Wait till I get to do you think I've been fucking trying? Wait till I get to playoffs and I'll play the Kings. Oh my God. And just, this is their masterclass.
Yeah.
They've been pumped by them 3 out of 4 this year. Pumped twice in LA. The Kings can't lose at home. And the Oilers just show up and go, dude, we just beat you in 6. And it wasn't hard. Because if they steal 1 in LA in the first 2, 1, and then they go back to Rogers with a split and take 2 there, now you are terrified if you're LA.
Yeah, I mean, if you go down 3-1, obviously
you're like,
you're
oh my
fucking
God,
terrified. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Last year, I feel like I was being an idiot and was like, oh, LA, they could surprise them. Yeah. But last year, the Oilers were better.
Yep.
Objectively.
Yep.
And it felt like it was wishful thinking. Whereas this year, and maybe this works against them, but like, it's the Kings to lose. Like,
Agree.
This year, it's like, hey guys, you're better. You should beat this team. Don't be afraid of it. And I agree. I think that there are a lot of guys on that Oilers team that are like, we'll take this matchup all fucking day. But I also think they're not stupid and they're going, this Kings team is fucking
nasty.
Good.
Yep.
This is a very fucking good team. So again, it's the Kings to lose, but I think the Kings have a good chip on their shoulder. I think we always talk about bulletin board material. That fucking stupid ass Darnell Nurse donkey punch to the back. And some of you guys spare me with the watch the replay. It's not that hard. It's okay to admit when your team does a stupid thing, guys.
Yep.
Cross-checking, no matter how hard, a player's back of the head while their face is 2 inches from the ice is stupid.
Yep.
And that deserves a suspension. And it's the most coward shit you've ever seen by Peros to give him a 1-game suspension in game 81 of the season. Like, dude, I know playoff games are important, but like, come on. But whatever. And in fact, Nurse playing in that game, I'm not saying anyone in the Kings are going to scrap. Like, I'm not saying Hellenius or Gav or something's going to drop with Nursey, but they're going to go in going, fuck you, scumbags. Like, you guys came into that game cheap shotting us all fucking night. We're going to bend you over a barrel and show you the 50 states and beat the shit out of you in game 1 in LA. Yeah. I think that's what they're thinking. So it's as much mental material as there is for Edmonton. I think there's the same amount for LA. And that's how they should approach it. And they should go, this is just a fucking hockey series. It doesn't matter who we're playing. It doesn't matter that Connor's on the ice. It doesn't matter that Leon's on the ice. It doesn't matter that we've lost in the first round 3 years in a row to them. This is just a hockey series. Who is the better fucking team right now? Yeah. It's LA, and they should win.
Yeah, no, I agree. I picked them. This for the first time, I think, in the last 2. I picked them. But I'm nervous. I'm nervous because of the pressure, because of the expectations, because you're right. It is yours to lose this year, and it sucks when it's yours to lose and you're going against Connor and Leon.
Brutal. Okay, we are now going to kick it to an awesome interview with a iconic goaltender, maybe the greatest undrafted goaltender of all time.
Yes, second most wins of undrafted goalies ever.
Think about it. Curtis Joseph joins us on the Empty Netters podcast. Please enjoy this unbelievable interview. And I do have to say, considers himself a Leaf, works for the Leafs right now. A little bit of breaking news, dude. Our boy Bobby Ryan just texted us. He said he's got his playoff picks. He's going to send them to us later, but the one he got sends in 6.
Ooh!
So fucking take that with a grain of salt.
Wow.
Toronto fans, while you listen to Curtis Joseph be the fucking man with the coolest backdrop you've ever seen.
All right, I need to talk to everybody about an absolute game changer, and that is ZBiotics pre-alcohol. Here is your order of operations moving forward. Drink pre-alcohol, drink responsibly, enjoy your next day. It's that simple. It is truly, truly that simple. So when you drink alcohol, it creates this toxic byproduct in your gut. And it's that byproduct. It's not dehydration that you're always hearing. It's that byproduct that causes you to not have your best effort in the morning. You have a rough start to the day, okay? And the ZBiotics has an enzyme in it that goes in your gut and breaks down that byproduct. That's how it works. Dan and I were just at Coachella. You've heard all the sagas. We had a couple big days in a row. My first drink every day, ZBiotics pre-alcohol. And then we're able to attack the day we're in and then get some rest and then wake up and attack the day tomorrow. Come on. It's an absolute game changer. Like I said, okay? Spring is here. The weather's getting warmer. You've got your friends' weddings. You've got drinking on the patio. You've got tropical vacations. You need to get involved with this ZBiotics thing. So go to zbiotics.com/netters and you're going to get 15% off your first order at checkout. And ZBiotics is backed with a 100% money guarantee. So if you are unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Okay? So go to zbiotics.com/netters, that's NETTERS, and use that Netters code at checkout and get 15% off. We are joined today by a Keswick, Ontario native, an undrafted superstar who played for the Blues, the Oilers, the Leafs, the Wings, the Coyotes, and the Flames, a Spengler Cup gold medalist, an Olympic gold medalist, a King Clancy Memorial Trophy winner, an NHL All-Star, the second most wins of an undrafted goalie ever, and the first goalie ever to have 30 or more regular season wins in a single season with 5 separate teams. Curtis CUJO Joseph, welcome to the Empty Netters podcast.
What a hit list.
That sounds like a lot of teams. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, don't worry. We've had plenty of guests who have a much longer suitcase list, so don't sweat it at all.
Right.
Heard you were golfing yesterday. How'd the round go?
Oh, it was beautiful. I got a nice invitation to Silverleaf, which is one of the top courses that I've ever played, but definitely one of the top courses in Scottsdale. It's if you ever get an invite, it's a special place.
There you go. Yeah, we might have to shake Eddie Laxton and have him get us on there somehow.
Oh, he'll tell you. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I love it. Cujo, I want to start out talking about the Blues because they are buzzing right now, and it fits with that being the first team that you started your career with. And, you know, we got a chance to look at your autobiography, The Untold Story of My Life on and off the ice, which is such a good read. And I feel like we could spend this entire podcast talking about that because it's such a good story. High recommend to anyone to check that out. But you know, right now, with the interest of time, we just want to talk about how, like we said, an undrafted free agent, you get your start after your freshman year at Wisconsin. This is the place that you learned, you know, how to be an NHLer and where you got your first shot. What was that experience like for you? And was there any point when you were in college thinking like, you know, who knows, maybe I'll never get the call, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're with the Blues. What was that journey like for you?
Right. So the year before I went to college, I was at Notre Dame and no scholarship. I was an overage tier 2 junior player. So to get a scholarship was the only goal. And, being in the NHL was such a distant target because I grew up playing single A hockey. So, you know, my expectations were very low, but finally got that scholarship, that elusive scholarship. And I was happy to be there for the next 4 years and get an education. And if I grew into a player, then that was great. But I was a free agent, never got drafted. So I was a free agent. So I had teams bidding on me. And fortunately for myself, the last 2 teams I played on, Notre Dame Hounds and Wisconsin, we had great teams. So for a goalie, it makes you look good. And I definitely appeared to be better than I was at that time. I can honestly say that. And, going to Wisconsin was great bunch of teammates. We still have a group text, which is amazing. Sean Hill was a freshman with myself, you know, a longtime NHLer and one of the best guys. So it was a great journey. And stepping into the NHL was really a 2-year journey. And that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such an incredible run, and what an exciting team to kind of make your breakthrough there, right? Like that must have been a crazy taste of life when you're like, bang, I'm out here with Brett Hull scoring 1,000 goals and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and from where I came from, I only played single A hockey, so I never played with an NHL prospect or a guy who was going to go to the NHL. And so when I got there, now you're with all these superstars. Brett Hull. I remember Peter Zezel. Was playing in Philly when he was on the Blues. Brian Sutter was our coach, and these guys were all men. I was just a child, and I was definitely not as mature as your average rookie. That's for sure. I was below average. And but they welcomed me, and Brian Sutter was a great guy. Welcomed me with open arms, and it was a great team to break in with, and now seeing them have success and make that playoff run is great because I love the fans there. They treat their athletes like gods. Great people, Midwest people, and especially in St. Louis. So great place to start. And I just got inducted in the Hall of Fame recently, and they treated myself and my family when we went down there like gold. They couldn't have been better. So I got nothing but great things to say about the organization, and it's still great.
We hear that all the time about the Blues from pretty much everyone we talk to who's had an experience with the team. Do you feel like there was a difference with being a goalie when you're a young rookie like that and you've got all of these, future Hall of Famers you're playing with? Is it weird being a goalie, kind of hoping that someone like that takes you, like when you think about a Hull, to take you under your wing and kind of show you the ropes? Or is it just everyone treats everyone the same? It's just a great vibe, great team, great organization.
Well, just like any place in the NHL, if you look like you're going to contribute, they can see it fairly quickly.
Yeah.
And, of course, everybody wants to win. So if you have some success early, you're going to endear yourself to your teammates a little quicker, which I seem to do. So that was good. They're going to welcome you because, they want to be able to cheat offensively, so you can be back there to stop them. I'm just kidding. It was great. But for sure. So it was a great group of guys. They welcomed me with open arms. I had some success early, and it looked like I was going to be there to stay for a while. So I remember those great teammates of mine, the Cavallinis, Jeff Brown, Holly, of course, just great teammates. And Brian Sutter, of course, was good for me also.
Yeah. Well, CUJO, you mentioned this January you were inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame, and I also wanted to point out you have a cool connection with Binner, who we know well, and you went to the same goalie school, had the same goalie coach. You know, he was a young kid, of course, but you guys have that connection. And then to watch him get picked for the Canada Four Nations roster, kind of go on a heater there, win the gold medal, and then come back and turn this into a 12, 13 game heater for the Blues. Has it been really fun for you to watch both him and the team have the success they're having this year?
Oh, absolutely. I talked to him at the end of January when I was down there, and he said some great things to me about us, coming from the same area and knowing each other. And he's a super athlete, plays goal the right way. He's very athletic, great style. And I remember him at the same goalie school that I went to when I was 35, trying to hone in the new style. And it's great to see him have success. He's a great kid, very competitive. I even don't mind the emotion he shows out there. I love it. I think it's part of his character. It's a part of who he is. I remember being there and I said, Binner, you're going to play for your country, and there's nothing like it. It's a 2-week tournament. You're going to love it. You play with other Canadians. The whole country is watching. Enjoy it. And he had great success. He embraced it. He played outstanding. He was probably the best player in the tournament. And then when you have those experiences like that, you come back to your own team and you have that much more confidence and you're that much bigger. And that's exactly what he did. You always take those international experiences and bring it back when you have success, and you can be a leader for your team. And that's exactly what he's done. And we can't discount Jim Montgomery, who I played with in St. Louis in those early years. And I would follow Jim Montgomery in the junior ranks, and he won 2 national titles. And then he went to college to Denver, won a national title. I'm like, wow, this guy really has what it takes. Goes to the NHL, starts winning in Boston, and then he gets fired. And St. Louis made a great decision to get this guy. He just relates with the players, and he treated us like gold. Me and my son went into the locker room and had a great time. They treated him first class. So I'll text him every now and again and say, Jim, you got a gift. Keep this thing going. So between Jimmer and Binner and Jim Montgomery, I'm very proud of that organization and what they've accomplished recently.
Yeah, it's an exciting time. We're really tight with Monty, and everything you said is so true. He's the best. He's such a good fit for that team. And I also love what you said about Binner. We need more of it.
Agreed.
I love when he gets fiery and starts shit talking and gets the wheels pumping, because I'm like, this is entertainment. We need more of it. It's fantastic.
And it gets him on his A game. That's what he needs. And I love that.
Absolutely. And I also love what you just said, CUJO, talking about, playing at that high level like Four Nations like he did, and then bringing that back to the locker room in St. Louis. It's, you have an Olympic gold in 2002 in Salt Lake City on enemy turf. Unbelievable. That felt like one of the best rosters U.S. has ever put together until, frankly, this year at Four Nations.
Correct.
So to play that intense game, to get that win, it's unbelievable. What was that experience like for you? Because, I love what you just said. I'm curious if that was a similar situation for you when you played in that high level of a tournament, obviously won the ultimate prize. Were you able to then bring that back to your team, kind of translate it to the teammates in the club level?
Yes. So first taste of going to an area like an all-star game where all the players are great. You're Gretzky, Messier, Timo Solani, and you see all these great players, even your idols when you're in high school, obviously Gretz. Yeah. You do that, and that's on a smaller scale, and you bring that back, and you have that swagger. And then it was the World Cup of Hockey, I think, was my first taste. It was like the Four Nations. It was before the Olympics, and probably in '96 I got to play. And me and Marty Brodeur were the goalies. So, I got a firsthand look at all the great players. And that was my first taste. And being able to come back from that, and, I played extremely well in that, and bring that back to my team, it catapulted me, no question. And all goalies, if you get an opportunity to play for your country, I don't care if it's a Spangler Cup or, the Olympics, you have to do it. It's not only is it a great experience and a great camaraderie with the guys and forever memories, but you bring that back to your team and you're a much better player for that experience. And Binner showed us all exactly how it's done.
Yeah, that's so true. CUJO, question for you about the international play in that era. I feel like now the boys are all pretty good friends already. Like, they've all played at dev camps and whatever. They all know each other really well. Was there any angle to playing in international teams then where you're kind of meeting some of these guys, getting to know these guys much better for the first time? Is that true, or were you guys already boys?
Oh, no, that's totally true. In my era, I didn't know any of these guys. I played against them, so I knew how they played. I didn't know anybody. Like I said, it wasn't, I wasn't like an Eric Lindros who grew up with a bunch of guys who are going to go into the NHL, right? You're playing at the highest level your whole life. I'm going in there, and these are my heroes.
Yeah.
I was in hockey pools. I'm in the hockey pools in high school with these guys, and now to sit beside Wayne Gretzky or watch him, how he handles pressure, I'm like, oh, I get it. Wow, this guy he is Superman. And Gretz really was. He handled pressure like there's no tomorrow. So I took the little things that I took from each guy, all these Hall of Famers that I got to play with, and I'd take it back to my team and try and be like that. Because you have certain things about your game that you like, and there's other certain things that you can be a better leader. And certainly watching those guys under pressure is only going to help you.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So CUJO, on Sunday, with the eyes of the hockey world, we all saw Ovi break the record, 895. But as that was happening, Budweiser Canada did this really cool thing. And I know you've got it behind you. They're raising a can to the rare group of goalies, there's only 28 of you, who kept Ovi off the scoreboard forever. Okay, so they and you got the can. Can you bring it up? And yeah, show us what's on it. I think it's got your jersey number, shots, face, 0 goals, right? It's got everything on there. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it says
So awesome.
the greatest goal scorer of all time couldn't score on you. 2 shots, 0 goals. And it's Budweiser 0.
Amazing. So cool. So you're now one of the King of Zero, the iconic group of 28. And it was awesome because you guys got the convo going on Twitter and everything. And I saw Ovi come out of the woodwork. He hadn't tweeted in 3 years or something like that, but he jumped in. That was hilarious. That must have been really cool to see.
It absolutely was. My youngest son, Luke, texts me, goes, Dad, Ovi hasn't tweeted out in 3 years, and he tweets you. So I read that, and then I was like, oh, that's pretty special. I mean, can you imagine his phone blowing up these last few days, and for him to acknowledge, not scoring on me. I did a few, on X and on Instagram, and for him to acknowledge and say, the only reason I didn't score on you is because you retired.
Yeah. It's so funny.
It is. It's a great line. I love it. And Ovi, I became a fan of his because of his celebrations and his passion for scoring goals. Yeah. And I always tell my kids, and I tell the young kids, I say, see, this is the way it's supposed to be. When you score goals, celebrate. Yes, it's a great feeling, and it's part of the game. So just like Binner, expressing himself, getting in fights, breaking sticks, Ovi's the same way. He's celebrating more than anybody else celebrated a goal. So he really won me over. And, of course, winning a Stanley Cup and being so great. So Ovi has been tremendously great for the game, and that's an understatement.
Yeah, it's electric. Sure. It's electric. I gotta know, CUJO, during this, him chasing down the record, were you aware that he never scored on you?
Good question.
I feel like you've been peppered with 1 billion shots, so many different players throughout your unbelievable career. Is that something that you know about, or was this news to you that he had never scored on you?
So I definitely remember the game that we played against him where I had to come in with 2 minutes left or 3 minutes left. So I do remember that game and being peppered, but I couldn't remember in my mind if there was another game that we had played against them. But that one stood out, and there wasn't another game. So you always remember the games you play against Lemieux, Gretzky, Sidney Crosby, these type of players. Even one of the first games I played was against Brian Trottier, and I remember he hit me in the face like on a point blank. Honestly, and I always tell him, and Brian Trottier is one of the best humans, and I always tell him, I made a great save on you, point blank. You hit me in the face. So I couldn't remember, but I do remember that game fondly. And he actually had a shootout attempt, which probably doesn't count as a shot. Correct?
Wow. But that is a great little tidbit there.
It definitely doesn't count. but you saved it?
Yes, for the win.
God, dude, that's even cooler. We got to get them engraved that on the can.
Yeah, we need to send that can back to Budweiser and have them etch that in as well, because that's a nice feather in the cap, dude. Not only did he not score, also saved a shootout attempt.
Right. Here's to Budweiser Canada. I need to update an asterisk saying that I did stop and the penalty shot and won the game. So I'm going to send this. No,
because I bet
great.
very
it's
few of the 28. Few of the 28 have that.
Yeah.
And CUJO, we had talked about it earlier, but when you joined the league, you saw some goal scorers. Brett Hull, I wrote it down, had 72, 86, and 70 your first year on your team. So you played with a guy pumping in goals at historic rates. And I just wanted to get your opinion on eras change. Obviously, the coaching got better, tactics got better. The clutch and grab went away, though. We're getting 3-on-3. What is it like as someone who played with a Hull and then played against an Ovi to watch what he accomplished in a little bit of a different era?
Yeah, so there are gives and takes to that. Brett Hull was the greatest. I can always say Brett Hull was the greatest goal scorer that I ever played with or that I ever saw while I was playing. And obviously, Ovi, I haven't seen him much. I saw him the one game up close. But so you can say, the clutching and grabbing's gone, so maybe it's easier to score. But I'd always say, yes, that's gone. But you have to weigh the other part of the scale where the goalies are bigger and cover more net. And generally, they're better as a group than we were probably back then. They cover more net. And then you got the other one where you say, well, the stick technology. It's like if you introduced aluminum bats into the MLB,
so
right?
True.
They would never do that. So, I mean, there's give and take, but the equipment for the goalies is much better. It's much stiffer. It's much bigger. It's lighter by a ton. Those pads are a fraction of the weight. So there's give and take. So it almost could even out, possibly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like that call.
I mean, I said it the other day. We were talking about Gretz. Like, if you want to compare him, like the guy was using a 25-pound stick. Like, that probably hindered him a little bit. Like, let's be honest here. Do you still play at all, CUJO? Or are you getting on the ice every now and then?
Here's one more thing to think about, and I'll answer that question. I was with Craig McTavish, recently in Moose Jaw, and he brought up a great point, which is going to make you guys really think, is that he goes, I never really looked at Gretz as a goal scorer, and he would say the same. Yet he owned the record.
Yeah, but it's true. It's true. Like, I don't think Gretz thinks he's a goal scorer, but he's like, I just
have that record.
Yeah. Just another one of the records that he happens to have.
Dude, that's so ridiculous.
So funny.
Right.
Yeah.
And
if for any reason anyone were to ever get the assist record, then he'd really be
pissed.
pissed.
Yeah.
Right. And the other comment I really like is that Gretzky's one goal away from being the all-time leading goal scorer in the NHL.
Yeah. That is a great line. Yeah.
That is a really good one.
He'd come back.
It's great.
He probably could do it.
So good. Cooch, before we I want to ask you some Leaf stuff real quick, but any Hully stories you're allowed to share?
Oh, my goodness. Well, Hully, I don't think, did he ever score an empty net goal? I don't think so.
I actually want to look that up.
He didn't want to, which is crazy. So he scored the 72 goals, and Peter Zezel was his centerman. Yeah. So, Peter's a great NHL player, but he's not known as a great passer or, great playmaker. So how about that? And then when Brett was when he scored 72, he was making $1.35 on the last year of his contract. And I think they were offering him 500, 600, 650 and 700,000. He goes, no, I'm going to play it out. And he scored 72. I think he got $7 million for 3 years or something like that.
How are you, dude?
Not bad.
That's so great.
That's a pretty good upgrade back then, for sure.
Yeah, that's very nice.
That is unbelievable.
But Hully he's a great man, extremely smart. There were a lot of great stories about him. He would carve guys, and he carved me one night, and it's very funny. It wasn't so funny then, but it's funny now. And I remember Steve Larmer, great goal scorer. I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. He was one of those veteran guys that was so deceptive. I couldn't tell where he was going to shoot or where he was going. And I think he got a hat trick, and he shot every half slapper, because he had that half slapper with that heel curve, over my shoulder. And it got up so quick. It was a weird shot, but it was hard. Anyway, we come in after the second period, and Brett in front of the whole team. And I'm just a rookie, shy kid, never had criticism before. And he says, "CUJO, is your effing glove Velcro to your pants?" And the room literally laughed and went into hysterics. And of course I wasn't laughing, but I was like, oh, I guess that didn't look so good, did it?
Yeah.
And the boys were rolling. We maybe went on to win it, but Brett was very funny and very clever. And
that's awesome.
You know, you could be the brunt of a lot of jokes. And he used to rip Rod Brindamore for being so jacked too.
Yeah, he still is. He still is.
Seriously, I bet he still gives it to him for that.
Oh yeah. So Brett, nobody was off limits, and he was great at carving guys. Very funny.
I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe it.
That's the best. It's cool to hear you talk so highly about the Blues, because I believe, and tell us if it's changed, but you've said many times that you consider yourself a Leaf, because that really was, the height of your playing days. You were buzzing so much with the Leafs, and you still now work with them as an ambassador and a goalie coach whenever they need it. And I want to talk, since we're talking about goal scorers, about Austin Matthews. And it's crazy to see, how good the league has become, how much goal scoring has ramped up. We're seeing guys, what was it? We had something like, 19 guys with over 40 goals last year.
Yeah.
Something crazy like that. And when you look at it through their first 8 seasons, Matthews is only 20 or so goals away from where Ovi was too. When you look at a player like that, because you've been around the team a lot, you've been around him a lot, do you see his ability and think maybe in 10 years or so here we might be looking at another record chase?
Yeah, no question. If he stays healthy, that's the key component, because Ovi stayed incredibly healthy, which is another skill in its own, and it's a lot of luck, but it's a lot of skill also. But I remember Shane Doan telling me a story when Austin used to come out and skate with them before training camp. Of course, he's a resident of Arizona, so he'd come out and skate with the Coyotes guys. So the story goes, it was the first practice, and the 16-year-old kid was out skating with them, and everybody knew, this kid's really good. And at one point in the scrimmage, it was 4-0, and Austin Matthews had all 4 goals at 16. And Donor turned to the group and he said, "Guys, is anybody else going to score besides this 16-year-old kid?" So they could see it early, and that release is something special. This is something that I had to study, and I'm an expert on, I guess, back in the day, because, you have to be good at where they shoot. But what impressed me about Austin, he can pick spots, and if you give him one chance, it's in the net, and he can shoot high, shoot off the post. But I love his shots along the ice. He fools so many goalies when he's in close, and he fires that thing so hard along the ice, and he gets them before they can get down. And I just love that goal, because it keeps goalies guessing. They don't want to go down too early because he's going to snipe over there. But I love his goals along the ice. I think it's genius and it's special. So he can get you. He's a smart guy.
Yeah, he sure is. And that shot's deceptive.
Oh,
too.
my God.
We call it the floor cheese when he keeps it on the ice like that. It is electric. Yeah. I love that.
It's amazing. Yeah. And CUJO, we were saying the other day, the Leafs look to me like better than they've been in 10 years. They're currently in first place in the Atlantic. How do you feel about, is there something different about them this year? Is that the vibe? What are you thinking?
Oh, man, they're both goaltenders I love both goaltenders. I think they can both steal games in the playoffs, and that's what you're looking for your goalie to do in the playoffs. The teams are so even, and there's such a fine line for winning and losing. So if your goalie can literally steal 2 games out of the 7-game series, there's a good chance you're going to win with all those goal scorers. So the Leafs have game breakers. So you want to play great defense, and they've upgraded their defense, their size, because we all know in playoffs the referees put the whistle away. So guys are going to the net. They're going to take liberties. They're going to do things. So if you have a big defenseman or big defense that can take liberties on their forwards, heck yeah, because the rules are – we all know the rules are different in the playoffs, and you got to be big, tough, and strong. And I think they've addressed that this year, getting the defensemen that they have, and that bodes well. So you have 2 goalies who are bona fide number 1 goalies, and the records show that. And then you have big, strong defense that are going to keep. I mean, I love defense that keep them to the outside, because if you take away time and space and closeness of proximity for goal scorers, it makes my job a lot easier. So it is. I think they're a little under the radar. Like my sons, I always quiz them. They're hockey savants, and they said, "Dad, Austin's a little under the radar. Mitch Marner's a little under the radar this year. All these guys are a little under the radar, their scorers, so I like that going into the playoffs."
I want that to be their playoff slogan. How every team picks a thing under the radar.
We've been saying it all year. I mean, now they're in first right now, but it's like for some reason they've stayed out of the headlines, out of the news, and that's right where they want to be.
Yeah, under the radar.
Just going to sneak under the rug. But here's the question for you, Cujo. Let's say we get a scenario, Stanley Cup final, Toronto Maple Leafs, St. Louis Blues. Who are you pulling for?
That's everything. I played almost the same amount of games for both franchises, and I was a different person in both of them. I think I was a better goalie later in my career, late 20s, early 30s. But I'm under contract with the Maple Leafs, and some nights I'm the e-bug. I'll walk in and I'll see Reed Mitchell, who was there when I was there, and I always go, "Hey, put your e-bug away. I'm in the house. I'm ready."
Yeah.
So that is my.
You got to be careful though. You got to be careful, Cujo. What if you put e-bug against the Caps? Ovi comes in, scores on you, everything's ruined.
That would be a disaster. We can't have that happen.
Everything is over. Yeah, my Budweiser Canada deal is done.
Fortune. So someone's gonna come up with a briefcase, take that can away.
So, hey, on the flip side of that, how I think is that I stop him again and think of the next contract that I'd be able to have.
God, such a good point.
Cujo
right? It would be twice as big.
Stones Ovi. Yeah. You're going to get a deal for sure.
A bigger deal. It would be great. It would be amazing. And a better can, bigger can.
Bigger can.
We'd come out with the tall boys, right?
Yeah, give us a tall boy. If that happens, that's what we need. We need a tall boy for the shootout save. We're going to get on the horn with Budweiser and make that happen.
You guys are good. I like it. Very creative.
All right, Cujo, we want to close you out with a game we play with everyone, and it's perfect given the background. By the way, that display of the masks behind
the most iconic mask ever.
It's just incredible. So
there's some good ones there, huh?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, good God, look at those.
Yeah, I think I have 17 game-used masks, so.
Special.
Special. They're great.
Okay, so we play a game with all of our guests called Pass, Shoot, Score. Basically a ranking system. We're going to give you 3 things that we know you like, that you care about, and you're going to rank them: pass, shoot, score. Pass is great, like snapping the puck around. Shoot is a little bit better. Score is the ultimate best. So it's basically 3, 2, 1.
Yep.
So your pass, shoot, score is going to be goalie masks that inspired you. So your pass, shoot, score is Tony Esposito.
I'm going to say shoot.
Hold on. You got to hear them all.
You get all three.
Oh.
So you got Tony Esposito, Ken Dryden, and Mike Palmateer.
Wow. So Ken Dryden, pass. Montreal Canadiens, and I love Ken
Dryden. It is
Dryden.
Basic, though. I hear you. It is basic.
It's basic. We love Ken, but it's basic.
Yeah. And then Mike Palmateer is shoot, because I love Mike Palmateer, and I love the way he played. I played similarly, I guess. But Tony Esposito was the mask that I drew as a kid. I literally would draw Tony Esposito. And I drew one for Panger, and Panger still has that. I drew it on the plane one time for Panger, and he still has that. So that's my pass, shoot, score.
That's your score. Wow, fantastic. Incredible that Panger has that drawing. That's so awesome.
So cool. That better be framed somewhere.
And Cujo, I heard you say that it's so cool that those guys having the same mask is kind of what inspired you to be like, I want to do the incredible stuff you have behind you. Is that right?
Yes. So those guys always had the same mask, and you knew who they were by their mask. So if by God's grace you become a great NHL goalie, you want one mask that people recognize you by. I think there was a beer commercial where Tony Esposito walks into a bar and with a bunch of hockey players, and they're like, "Who's that guy?" And he pulled out his mask and he put it on. They go, Tony Esposito.
Yeah. That's
the greatest
awesome.
commercial ever. So that inspired me to keep the same concept every time.
Yep.
Yeah, it's amazing. Do you remember the moment that you got to design your first NHL mask?
Yeah, when you were
how cool must that have been?
When you were faxing it back and forth.
Yeah.
Right, when I was faxing it back and forth. And I really said to the artist, I said, you're the artist. You start. You send it to me. I want the CUJO theme. That's my nickname. We're going to run with this. And what he had sent back was incredible. I was like, wow, I could have never come up with this. So it was tremendously inspiring. And you let them go first, and then you can tweak it however you like. So incredible. I can't say that I created it. So
it's amazing. It's amazing. CUJO, the last thing we do with everybody is we play a game called Career Hattie. So for players, we ask for their career hat trick, their 3 favorite goals of their career, any stop, anywhere they played. But for goalies, we give it your career save Hattie. So your 3 favorite saves of your career, any level, any spot. Do you know do you think you have them?
Yeah, it's the 2 shots against Ovi and then the shootout. Against Ovi.
Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. So, how about the one I had at Notre Dame? Can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, I love that.
So to win the West, which was toughest thing to do, we're playing against we already beat Manitoba, and we're the winner of Saskatchewan. This is Rod Brindamore's team, who got us all scholarships because he was so great, and he was going in the first round of the NHL. So thank you, Rod Brindamore, for I'm allowed to have a career because he got me that career just by being there and being great. But we had a penalty shot against us against the Calgary Canucks in Game 7 with 2 seconds left.
Oh my God!
And if I let it in, we go to overtime, and they're undefeated, I think, for the season. So I stopped it with 2 seconds left, and we ended up winning the West, going on to win the Centennial Cup. So that's one. That's my third, I guess. Second one would probably be in Edmonton, Game 7 against Joe Nieuwendyk.
Yes. Wow. I knew you were going to say that.
Game 7, overtime, winner goes on, and made that save, and immediately Todd Marchand went down and scored. So it magnified that save. So that's number 2. And of course, we got to go with, me owning Ovi. It's the penalty shot, the shootout. Third, he's the third guy to go, and I stopped it for the win.
Game on the line.
That's number 1.
Got him.
That is such a clean career, Hattie. God, I love it.
Amazing.
Unbelievable. Well, CUJO, you are the best for hopping on with us, giving some of your time and some of these stories. It's so much fun. It's so awesome to chat with you. Before we let you go, and we give a huge shout out and thank you to Budweiser Canada, is there anything you want to plug? Anything you want to talk about or say hi to? No,
I just it's a great program that Budweiser Canada did, and then. Congratulations to Ovi in all seriousness. He did it. He did it when people didn't think that he could. He's got 42 goals this year.
Yeah.
Who could have guessed that? I mean, you wouldn't have bet he could do that. So here's to Ovi, even though it's my can. And what a great thing for the NHL. Amazing. And guys, thanks for having me on. We could have talked for a couple hours here.
Oh, we'll have to have you back. We'll have to have you back.
I was going to say, we're going to probably have to have you back because we can tell that this chat could go on for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. Great questions, guys.
Appreciate
course,
it,
man.
Brother. Yeah, we'll talk soon.
Huge thanks to CUJO, the king of zero. Thanks to Budweiser Canada, Budweiser Zero, for dapping him and all the other 28 goalies up who never let one in on Ovi. Some excellent stories from my guy CUJO, dude. Like, really cool, OG hockey was awesome stories.
He is he's like my perfect guest. He's still dialed in the game. He is retired, so he's not afraid to snap around the stories. And he's dialed also with the media side. Mm-hmm. He's got the great backdrop. He's got the dog running around in the background. He was excited to talk about shit. He was the man. Definitely going to have him on more often.
Oh, we have
as fun as it gets.
I used to remember when we were playing knee hockey as little kids, and I always wanted to be goalie because I just liked goalies.
Oh yeah,
it was him and Beezer. Like I was always like I'm CUJO, I'm Beezer. Like that was kind of my jam.
Dude, I grew up not a goalie.
Yep.
Certainly not a Leafs fan, and I had a Curtis Joseph poster on my wall when I was a child.
Yeah.
I loved the nickname CUJO, and I loved the way he played.
It's the Stephen King main connection. I love it.
Wow. I really like that. All right, let's get into a powers ranking. Top 5 teams in the league right now to end the season.
Last one of the year.
These get a little wishy-washy because, Teams are resting guys. Some games matter, some games don't.
Yep.
But I'm going to blow your hair back right now, and I'm going to say a team that we have not had one all year.
But they are one right now.
Shout out to our girl, Anna Dua. Favorite team. I'm going 1, Toronto Maple Leafs.
Me too. Maple Leafs. Best, yours to lose, dude. That's not true, but it is. I am saying you're the best team in the league right now going into playoffs.
They're 8-1-1 on a 4-game winning streak. Austin gets his 400th tuck. Marner gets his 100th point. Willie's the coolest fucking guy in the league. What more do you want? They've got to be number 1.
Hard not to do it. So I'll go 1 there. I like that.
I want to go my Kings number 2.
I know, dude.
But I think respect has to be shown to the just biggest wagon in the league. They are the President's Trophy winners for a reason.
You want to go Jets too?
Jets too.
Well, yeah, actually, fair enough. They won the President's Trophy. They locked up the President's Trophy. Let's do it. Toronto Maple Leafs are the best team in the league right now.
Yep.
The Jets are the second best team in the league right now.
And the Kings
But
are
I could go Kings.
Kings third.
Kings third best team in the league.
No question about it. I think Vegas has been on a heater. I like Vegas here, and I also like the Bolts as we keep doing.
I
the
like
Bolts
Tampa,
are just.
dude.
In fact, I think Vegas and Bolts are my 2 teams.
No Dallas, no Colorado.
Dallas? Are you shitting me?
Yeah, Dallas sucks.
Dallas has lost 6 fucking straight. Colorado, I'd hear, but like they're close to being 500.
Agree. Okay, so let's go Bolts.
In their last 10,
let's go Bolts 4.
Okay, and then Vegas.
Vegas 5.
Yeah, I like it. Boom, done. Toronto 1, Winnipeg 2, LA 3, Tampa 4,
Vegas 5.
Vegas 5. That is your powers ranking. Let's get into the starting 6, showing some love to a friend of the program, friend of ours, Kevin Fiala. Absolutely nuclear second half of the season. He has 8 points in his last 4 games with 5 goals. Dude, he just looks like he's in flow state.
Yep.
He's vibing.
Finishing with 35 is wild, considering where he started.
Yes. He's the guy that the Kings paid for. He's just a great vibe. He's got a great attitude right now, and he's dangerous.
Dude, I could have seen a little more fight out of him when Nurse caved in QB's head. He goes like this.
I genuinely...
Hey, dude.
Yeah.
Which is how I would react, so I shouldn't be talking shit.
Yeah, I was going to say, you wouldn't have fucking done anything.
Whoa. But I was like, hey, dude, maybe like a...
Dude, you know what bothers me? If we were in the league and if I were a QB in that situation and that happened, you'd have done exactly what Kev did. If the roles were reversed, I would have golf swinged Darnell Nurse's head off his body. Kev's been suspended for life.
Kev's got a pretty face. I get it, dude. I get it. He was like, I'm not... Game 81? I'm not dealing with this shit, dude. Center, we got to go McDavid. 13 points in his last 5, including 12 assists. He's up to 99 points on the season. I think he saw he wasn't going to hit 100, and he was like, all right, fuck that. He did the pasta thing, went absolutely nuclear to make sure he gets there. I don't know if he's going to play tonight against the Sharks, but if he does, you better believe he's getting a point to hit that 100 plateau.
There is literally no doubt about it. Going back to the Kings at right wing, Audrey Kempe. Unbelievable games from Juice recently. He is 9 points. He has 9 points in his last 4. 73 on the year, like we said, 35 goals, like we said. 2 points away from a career high with 1 game left. I kind of want him to get it, dude.
Yeah, me too.
We had a buddy who hammered him preseason at 74.5. So, Juice, we're going to need those 2.
We really need those 2.
That is tough.
I don't know what to tell you, but our boy needs the 2 points.
A lot riding on this, buddy.
And, you know, as he also knows, I had him at 40 goals. I had him preseason at 40 goals, and he fucked me on that one.
Yeah.
So, at the very least, you can't fuck over our boy with the 75 points.
And you know what? I think he's going to get it because they're playing a recently eliminated Calgary Flames. And I just think Calgary's going to be like, whatever.
Come on, dude.
We're exhausted.
Give me 2. Career high. Thomas Chabot. Thomas Chabot, 9 points at lefty, I should have said. 9 points in his last 5 with 3 goals of 3 in his last 4. He's having the second best year of his career. He's a plus 19, Dan, this year. I know you love that. It's the first year in his career he's ever been a plus 19. He's been excellent on the back line for Ottawa, and they're going to need him. They're going to need him in the playoffs.
It's also just like he's a guy, especially with the struggles of Ottawa the last couple of years, that people have been like, dude, he's not the player we needed him to be. And I'm like, he's great. And then, yeah.
Awesome.
So you love to see it. Right D, Evan Bouchard. Surprise. 10 points in 8 games before they got blanked by the Kings. Not the best year for the guy, but he's going to have damn near 70 fucking points again.
Easy to ignore that, but come on.
Yeah, it's easy to ignore it. And it's also easy to be like, dude, when you play with McDavid and Draisaitl, you're obviously going to get a couple fucking gimmies. But at the end of the day, at defense, you're scoring almost 70 in the fucking National. Shut the fuck up. That's pretty damn good. So, Evan Bouchard, welcome to the starting six.
And at goalie, dude, we are going Jet Greaves. How could you not on the Columbus Blue Jackets?
Unbelievable.
Okay, dude, he has played the last 4 games. He hadn't played since March 17th.
Yeah.
Columbus puts him in net. In games, they've been on a tail slide. They're done. It's over. They're going to miss playoffs. They need these games. Like, literally, they have to have them. He goes in. Here are his 4 games, their last 4 games that he's got. Gives up 2 goals in a 39-save win against Buffalo, has a 22-save shutout win against Washington, gives up 1 goal in a 30-save win against Washington again, and had a 29-save shutout win against the Flyers last night. If the Blue Jackets make the playoffs,
build this man a statue.
Dude,
build this man a statue.
He deserves a plaque. Absolutely unconscious week from Jet Greaves to keep the Blue Jackets in the hunt. Tip of our cap to you, sir. You win the goalie starting 6 in the last one of the year, and maybe the most deserving one that's happened all season.
Unbelievable. I've got a game for you.
Let's do it.
Gonna close out this pod with a game like we always do on Thursdays. This week we've got What's the Connection? This is a trivia game where I will give Chris 10 questions. The first 9 are all connected by one thing. The 10th answer is that thing. Are you ready, sir?
I am ready. And for new listeners, last week I gave one for Dan, and every answer was the name of a dog.
Oh, you mean last time?
Or last time we played this game, every answer was the name of a dog from movies or TV. Dan's given me one where every answer was the name of a superhero's secret identity. Bruce Wayne, Lois Lane, things like that. So we're going to begin What's the Connection right now. And Dan, begin.
Question number 1. Starting his career with St. Louis, this defenseman had a breakout year 2 seasons ago, scoring over 60 points, and is now one of the key players of the Seattle Kraken.
Oh, okay. I think it's Vince Dunn.
Okay.
But you can't. Dan can't answer yet. I just have to say, and then I'm going to try to get the connection.
Question number 2. The type of highlight most kids fantasize about doing playing street hockey. This is another name for scoring an overtime winner.
Say it again?
No.
They fantasize about it in street hockey.
The type of highlight most kids fantasize about doing while playing street hockey. This is another name for scoring an overtime winner.
It's another name for scoring an overtime winner. I've written down golden goal, but I don't know if that's right, so I'm going to come back to this and continue.
Question number 3. An iconic Bruin and Capital. Aside from Gretzky, this player must be the best assist man in NHL history.
Okay, I'm going to go with Adam Oates, I believe. And I'm going to roll with Oatesy, and I think that's right, but we're going to continue.
Question number 4. Last year, and even times this year, when things in the league were getting juicy and crazy, we've on the podcast dubbed the season in the NHL as blank season.
Fuck. I want to say it's drama season. We've dubbed the NHL blank season. Okay, wrote that note down. Continue.
Question number 5. After the devastating departure of John Tavares, Islanders fans were given a new captain in this current player.
Okay, who's the captain of the Islanders? I have to know that. Is he still the captain?
Yes.
Toe Drags leaves. Was he named immediately captain of the Leafs when he arrived?
I think so.
That's crazy. Okay, the Islanders captain it's not Barzy. Oh, I think, no, wait, that's the Jets. It might be Anders Lee. I'm writing Lee, and I'm going to come back to that. Okay.
Question number 6. Now worn by studs in the league like Patrick Kane, David Pastrnak, and William Nylander. This number was popularized by this dynamic power forward for the Flyers.
Okay, 88 is the number, and famously, Big E, Eric Lindros wore 88, and people used to call me that in youth tournaments because I wore all Bauer gear and I looked like him.
You didn't look like him. You just had Bauer
Didn't
gear.
play. Well, I was just a big guy. Didn't play like him, though, at all.
Question number 7. Cale Makar scored 30 goals this season, becoming the first defenseman to do so since this player in 08-09.
Okay, we definitely looked this up. That would be Capitals legend Mike Green, who scored 31 in like 63 games or something. Incredible performance.
Stunning. Question number 8. Although Matthew Tkachuk has been known to mix it up with just about anyone, rival fans often accuse him of pulling this move when fighting a tougher opponent, which can be described as tucking and covering his head.
Okay. Tucking, covering. During a fight. He's tucking, covering during a fight.
This move.
I'm going to say turtling, but that's bullshit because he isn't as big as everyone thinks. We talk about this all the time. Everyone's like, oh, he's such a goon. I'm like, he's a little guy, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking get off me. Okay.
Question number 9. The NHL has expanded to 32 teams with plans to reach up to 34 by 2028. Aside from Seattle and Utah, this city is the most recent expansion location.
They're already a team.
Yes, dude. Yeah. Learn how... Get the fucking fat out of your ears and listen to the questions. God.
I'm going to go Vegas, which I think it must be because it was Vegas. Yeah. So I'm going to go Vegas. Okay, so
Question number 10. What connects all of these answers?
So can you read me one again?
Starting his career with St. Louis, this Seattle Kraken defenseman has had a breakout year 2 seasons ago, scoring over 60 points, and is now one of their key players.
Okay, and I went Vince Dunn there, and I think that's right. And then I didn't know 2 and 4. So yeah, read me 2 and 4.
The type of highlight most kids fantasize about doing while playing street hockey. This is another name for scoring an overtime winner.
Playing street hockey. This is another name.
That's not the important part. That's just fun, dramatic to help the question, you fucking idiot.
Okay, well then, get the fat out of your fingers and stop typing stuff that doesn't matter.
It's theatrics, dude. It's fun. Have you ever listened to Jeopardy, dude?
Scored an OT winner. So I have golden goal. I'm going to leave that and then give me 4 again. The NHL blank season.
Last year and even times this year when things in the league are getting crazy and juicy, we've on the podcast dubbed the season in the NHL as blank season.
Okay, so I think that is drama season. So here is where I'm headed, Dan.
Do you know it, Wags?
10 is is that a no? I don't think he knows. He might know. 10 is what's the connection. And I thought I had it. Then I was like, oh, it's something else. And then I was like, oh, I was right the first time, but I can't tell if I don't think I have all of them right if I'm right.
I think you're yanking my chain.
Well, I think my knee jerk, the connection is Entourage, the show Entourage, because I have a Vince in Vince Dunn, which I think is correct.
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
You have everything correct.
Okay.
And that is the connection.
It is Entourage.
Yes.
Okay, amazing.
Which ones are you unsure
So
of?
Vince I have.
Yep. Vince and Chase.
Vince and
Dunn.
Chase. Number 4, drama season, Johnny Drama.
Johnny Drama.
Number 6, Eric Lindros.
Eric.
Number 8, Turtling.
Turtle. Yep.
Number 9, Mike Green. I think is Seth Green. Because he's on
number 7 is Mike.
Or sorry, number 7, Mike Green, which I think is Seth Green. Because he's on the show
Correct.
all the time. Number 9 is Vegas. They're the expansion team, and there's an incredible Vegas baby.
Vegas
Vegas episode.
One of the great episodes ever.
Yep. So that's 9. That's 7, 8, 9, and 6.
The 2 that you have not identified are
5 and 3 and 2.
2, 3, and 5. Correct.
So 5.
2 is embarrassing.
5, I think, is Anders Lee.
Yes.
And dude, so here before I had the connection, because I didn't know Vince Dunn was right.
Yeah.
I got Drama, and I was like, oh, Johnny Drama. My head went there, so I was like, maybe it's Entourage. And then the next one was Anders Lee, and I was like, oh, it's like Durs. It's like
Workaholics.
well, it's just comedy.
Comedy
drama,
characters. Sure.
Durs. So I was headed there, and then it was Eric, and I was like, fuck, maybe it is Entourage. Anders Lee.
Lloyd Lee.
Is that his name? That is sick, dude. Lloyd Lee. Wow, great name. Good for you, Lloyd. Okay, Adam Oates.
This one's tough.
Adam Oates. Don't tell me yet. Is it a character?
Yeah.
Yep. Adam Oates.
Both 2 and 3 are characters. 2 is embarrassing that you do not have yet.
Is it? I got it right. It's Golden Goal.
Gold.
Oh.
Ari Gold.
Ari Gold. Of course. I was thinking Golden Globes from the movie. I was like, is it Golden Globes? Ari Gold. Of course. Ari Gold. Okay. Adam Oates. Adam Davies.
Well done, sir.
Come on.
I'm going to skull fuck you, Davies. Adam Davies.
Yes.
Entourage is the answer. Well done. Great job.
Really good one,
Great job
Dan.
on all the questions.
Really good one, Dan.
Really, really good. Okay. That is it for us this episode of the Empty Netters podcast. The next time we talk to you, we'll be in the middle of playoffs.
Wow.
But we've got a new schedule coming out.
Yes. Okay. So stay tuned to the story for the exact specifics, but we're going to be coming at you with more content than ever during the playoffs this year. Pod's still happening twice a week, but we're going to be pumping some live content at you too to try to get you some reactions, even more topical than we have been doing. We're going to be all over YouTube, all over the page, all over everything. So stay tuned to the story to hear, but man, it is going to be packed.
And here's the deal, guys. We're going to do some bingo here and there. And we're also going to be doing these live things like CP is talking about, and that is on our YouTube. So if you are not yet, subscribe to the YouTube because we're going to be doing things that are basically full episodes. It's going to be the daily hockey content that you're looking forward to. So subscribe. It helps you. It helps us. Make sure you do that. Okay. Like I said, that's it for us. Next time you hear from us, we'll have playoff action to talk about. It's the best. It's unbelievable. Strap in, get pumped up, get fired up, and make sure that the next time we see you,
You're skating hard.